In my last video, I talked about how Korea rebuilt itself from the ruins of the 1950 war, wig factories stitched together, by hand, stitch by stitch, garment factories that made excellent products under impossible conditions, and then shipbuilding, defense, medical, digital, the high-value industries that carried Korea into a different league entirely. I told that story like it was history, like it was over. But today, I want to show you something most people don't know, that history is not over. Right now, as you watch this, the clocks of Seoul are still turning. Two places, 20 minutes apart, 50 years apart, moving at the same time. Mullae-dong and the Seoul Digital Industrial Complex in Mullae-dong. Same city, same moment, completely different eras. Let me take you there. Seoul, actually. The Seoul I actually live in. Mullae-dong. Seoul residents know the name. Most have never been. It sits in the western part of the city, quiet enough to miss if you're not looking for it. And even if you find it, it doesn't make it easy to stay. The strange grinding sound of metal being cut, the low, steady hum of a lathe turning, the smell of cutting oil that soaks into your work clothes and refuses to leave. This neighborhood, like Seongsu-dong, began gathering in the 1960s and 70s when Korea was creating itself from nothing, one piece at a time. Small factories came first, then more. Metal fabrication, precision parts, lathe work, CNC machining, all kinds of small operations, crowding into the same streets, building the products that built the economy you see today. But then came government policy. Large-scale industrial complexes were developed in Ansan, Sihua Industrial Complex, Banwol National Industrial Complex. The big factories moved out. The small ones, the ones too small to relocate, too stubborn to leave, or too essential to the few clients who still needed exactly what they made, they stayed. This morning, I walked into those streets, and I felt something I wasn't prepared for. Not nostalgia, respect. These alleys were not built to be admired. They were built to work. Every door leads to a different kind of precision. The mold shop, making the molds that shape the plastic components of the products you use every day. The cutting shop, a lathe that has probably been running since before most people watching this were born. And the people inside, one person, sometimes two, working in a space smaller than most living rooms. No sign outside, no website, no social media, just a phone number scratched carelessly on the wall, and 30 years of repeat customers who know exactly where to find them. And one more thing, a tap barely big enough to wash a single pair of hands, a mirror with the top half broken off. That's everything. I stopped at the entrance of one factory and just stood there, listening. The rhythmic sound of the machine, steady, unhurried, exact. This is where Korea's famous balri urgency meets its opposite, because precision has no shortcut. To eliminate an error of 1/100th of a millimeter, you cannot rush, you cannot approximate, you cannot skip a step. The person inside that room knows something that cannot be learned from a YouTube video or a university lecture. It lives in their fingertips, and it is disappearing, not because the work has run out, because the world is changing. AI is no longer a trend. It is the direction. Korea's government understands this. The investment is total. The urgency is real. In a world moving this fast, what is the role of the person who learned precision the slow way? What survives when everything accelerates? I filmed this today because I wanted to leave a record of something that still exists before it doesn't. And because in a world racing toward the next thing, someone should stop and look and remember what all of it was built on. Korea celebrates its engineers. It should also remember the ones who made it possible. 20 minutes from here, on the other side of the city, along the same subway line, something completely different is happening. Same Korea, same morning, a different chapter of the same story. The Seoul Digital Industrial Complex. This is where Korea keeps its other promise, the one about the future, gleaming glass buildings, high-speed fiber internet, and when the morning commute begins, a mass movement starts. Thousands of people pouring in from every direction, buses, subway, on foot, all converging on the same destination. Inside these buildings, startups running on 3 hours of sleep, and the belief that the next big thing is one deployment away. The people here don't smell like cutting oil. They smell like coffee. Most of them work in teams. They use tools that didn't exist 5 years ago. They're solving problems that didn't exist 10 years ago. But here's what I kept thinking as I walked through this place. The servers running inside these buildings. Someone made the metal housing, the circuit boards inside. Someone made the molds for the plastic components. The chairs these engineers sit in, precision, manufacturing, parts. The people in Mullae-dong and the people in this building have probably never met. They don't know each other's names. They have never stood in the same room, but they are building the same country, one with their hands, one with their minds. Korea needs both. It always has. I came to Seoul 30 years ago with nothing. I watched this city, this Seoul, build itself. One factory, one product, one person at a time. The person cutting metal in a space the size of a single parking spot. They are not a relic. They are not a leftover from another era. They are the reason the person in the digital complex has a country worth building in. Korea's success story has their sweat in it, their nights without sleep, their hands that learned what cannot be taught. And it has two chapters, happening simultaneously, right now, in the same city. The chapter the world photographs, and the chapter the world walks past. I came to film the one people walk past, because in 30 years of watching, I've learned something. The things that last are never the loudest. They're the ones that just keep going, quietly, precisely, without asking to be seen. This is Seoul, all of it. Please look forward to the next one.